and run. Floor by floor, instead of popping out.
It was if they had detonated.
Detonated.
They were planned to take down a building. Boom, 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 boom.
All the way down. I was watching.
10:30, I tried to leave the building, but as soon as I got outside, I heard a second explosion and another rumble and more smoke and more dust. And then a fire marshal came in and said we had to leave because if there was a third explosion, this building might not last.
Like, it sounded like gunfire, you know, bang, 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 and then all of a sudden, 3 big explosions.
Started walking down the stairs, we made it to the 8th floor. Big explosion. Blew us back into the 8th floor.
Do you know if it was an explosion or if it was a building collapse?
To me, it sounded like an explosion,
but it was a huge explosion.
Chief Albert Turry told me that he was here after the events that took place this morning. He tried to get his men out as quickly as he could, but he said that there was another explosion which took place, and then an hour after there was another explosion in one of the towers here. So according to his theory, he thinks that there were actually devices that were planted in the building.
But I was coming toward the World Trade Center looking for CBS crews and asked a firefighter if he saw any. All of a sudden, there was a roll, an explosion, and we could see coming at us a ball of flame stories high.
And all of a sudden, we heard an explosion. It was a huge explosion that came from under my feet, meaning that it came from the sub-levels between B2 and B3. And then there was a huge explosion at the top of the building. You could hear the difference from the bottom and all the way through the top. The one from the top, which was actually seconds after, was heard very far away. The one at the basement was pretty loud, and you felt your actual feet moving with the floor. The tremor that is sent through the floors, that the walls cracked and the false ceiling totally collapsed. And that's when a person named Felipe David came running into our office saying, explosion, explosion, explosion. And when I saw him, he has all his skin pulled from under his armpits and missing pieces on his face.
Go downstairs. Foreman tells me to go to remove the containers. As I'm walking by the main freight car of the building in the corridor, that's when I got blown. I mean, the impact of the explosion, of whatever happened, it threw me to the floor, and that's when everything started happening. I was racing, I was going towards the bathroom. All of a sudden, I opened the door, I didn't know it was a bathroom, and all of a sudden a big impact happened again, and all the ceiling tile was falling down, the light fixtures were falling, swinging out of the ceiling, and I come running out the door, and everything, the walls were down, and now I started running towards the parking lots. There was a lot of smoke down there, there was a lot of people screaming. People came with us running up the ramps clear across the whole from 1 to 2 World Trade Center. You know what I mean? That's the way you got to run. And then all of a sudden it happened all over again. Something else hit us to the floor. Right in the basement, you felt it. Walls were caving in, everything that was going on. I mean, I know of people that got killed in the basement. I know of people that got broken legs in the basement. People that got reconstructive surgery because the walls hit them in the face.
As I went up, I remember listening to small explosions on the upper floors, and these small explosions were not coming from the area of the impact. It was coming from lower floors. We heard boom. When we heard boom, inside our building, the North Tower, we heard pa 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 pa. And on the security radio, we heard, we lost 65, meaning the 65th floor collapsed. And as we went down the stairwells, you could hear the actual collapsing inside the buildings. You heard rumble, you heard the cracking of the walls, I mean pieces falling right next to us of the actual building.
And I can still remember hearing, first of all, this boom, boom, boom explosion.
Fire Department 408, where's the fire?
Yeah, hi. I'm on the 106th floor of the World Trade Center. We just had an explosion up here.
What building are you in, sir? 1 or 2?
1 World Trade.
All right.
Yeah, there's smoke, and we got about 100 people up here.
Sit tight. Do not leave, okay? There's a fire or an explosion or something in the building. All right, I want you to stay where you are.
Yes.
On dirait presque une de ces implosions programmées. C'est comme si une équipe de démolition, comme avec ces vieux bâtiments qu'on démolit et qui disparaissent en un instant.
Tous ceux qui ont déjà assisté à la démolition d'un immeuble savent que pour faire ça, il faut s'attaquer à la structure centrale du bâtiment.
On a entendu une autre explosion, et je pense que c'était celle qui venait du niveau inférieur, puisqu'il y en a eu deux.
À 18 minutes d'écart?
Non, il y a eu une première explosion, puis une deuxième dans le même bâtiment. Il y a eu deux explosions.
Les agences fédérales qui étaient sur les lieux pensent qu'il y a eu des explosions autres que celles provoquées par les avions.
Pat Dawson est tout près de l'endroit où l'attaque a eu lieu. Pat?
Il y a quelques instants, j'ai parlé au chef de la sécurité des pompiers de New York, Albert Tury. On vient de lui annoncer qu'il y avait peut-être un engin explosif secondaire, une bombe. Il a essayé d'évacuer ses hommes le plus rapidement possible, mais il dit qu'il y a eu une autre explosion. Environ 1 heure après que le premier avion s'est crashé, il y aurait eu une autre explosion dans l'une des tours. D'après lui, des explosifs avaient été placés à l'intérieur du bâtiment. Il suppose que les explosifs secondaires avaient sans doute été placés à l'intérieur du bâtiment.
La première, puis la deuxième. Et il y aurait eu des explosions secondaires. Qu'est-ce qui se passe là-bas?
On vient tout juste d'assister à une sorte d'explosion secondaire dans la tour 2 du World Trade Center.
Secondaire. Il semblerait qu'il y ait eu une explosion secondaire dans la tour 2.
Il y a eu une autre grosse explosion et le bâtiment lui-même s'est littéralement effondré dans un nuage de fumée et de débris.
Je suis à 5 rues du World Trade Center. J'étais là et tout à coup, il y a eu une sorte d'effondrement ou d'explosion.